And we are live. All right. Basically right on time here. Christopher, all right. Thumbs up already. Fantastic. Good, good. We'll let hopefully some more people show up. I think last Friday it was a bit sketchy, Friday lunch hour. But we'll see if this one's any different. Am I live? Did I go? Yeah, no, I'm live. All right, well, I'll start off just with a couple while we wait for some people to get on. Unless Christopher, did you have a request? I can do that while we wait, but try to see if some more people want to get on here. If not, I'll start off just kind of looking at overall markets, which have been pretty rough. So the SPY daily, the pullback here continues after a rough fake break right there. So pulling back right now and looking at the 30-minute, yeah, it was a very rough start to the day. And right now, really just a question of what does it want to do. We have a flat area of resistance there. We do have a bit of an uptrend. That's fair. But at the same time, you have to be questioning, well, what was happening before this formation here? And part of that was, well, there was this big drop down. So as of right now, an SPY 30-minute, we have a bear pennant pattern. And bear pennants are, there's just because something's a bearish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going to go downwards. But I'd be skeptical right now from the bullish side of things. I mean, it is the market, and we are still overall in an uptrend. So would it be shocking if this thing all of a sudden decided to explode to the upside? No, I don't think that would really catch anybody off guard per se. But that's where at least the SPY right now, bear pennant on the 30-minute, and I could very realistically, especially if this breaks. So what we should do here is to kind of keep an eye on things for the remainder of the day. Where there's that trend line, if the price breaks down through that trend line, I think there's a very real shot that the price comes down to at least do battle and test that 200 period moving average. For those of you that are here, if you have a request, that could be a stock, it could be a future, it could be a crypto, it could be a forex pairing. Let me know. I want this to be viewer driven, so you are in charge of what we talk about. If you have questions or whatever, that's fine too. But like I said, if you have any sort of request, I'm just doing this to kind of stall for a little bit while we get more people logged on here. But like I said, if you have a request for something, let me know, and I will take a look at it. Let's see, I'm assuming the Qs are pretty much the same. Yeah. Well, the Qs are very interesting now that I look at this. There's this level down here that's going to be very important. Not today, yes, but even certainly in the next week. Look at that. So right now it's a question of, is this going to be some sort of double bottom bounce off of this area here? So we have this low, we have that low. So as of right now, so far so good. It is respecting it, but is there going to be any sort of follow through to get some sort of double bottom type turnaround? So keep an eye on that dynamic right there. But that is definitely very interesting here on the Qs. 532, let's just call it 40. Definitely going to be a very key level. And I'm seeing some more people are getting logged on here. So again, if you have a request for a stock, a future, crypto, whatever, let me know in the chat box. And I will give my thoughts on it. Right now, just doing some overall markets. But I see the chat box. And I think people can hear me. Usually we have at least some people with a request or whatever. But if not, I'll just keep going through some other overall markets. So yeah, right there, I think that's the extremely interesting dynamic on the Qs is that area down at the 532.40. What else do we have? What's gold up to today? Is it still pulling back? Nope, trying to recover back upwards. So gold right now has actually broken out through that line. So now really just a question of breakout has occurred. Does this get more strength? Is this headed on its way up to the highs right here? I've asked a lot. Zero. Yeah, you have asked a lot. That's true, O'Leary. Maybe you just don't know how to do a super chat. So down at the box or down in the bottom, there's a little square that has a money sign in it. You click on that. What are your thoughts on SPY? I literally just did SPY like 5 minutes ago, but that's okay. I'll do it real quick. So SPY right now, I would call a bear pennant. So yes, SPY is trying to consolidate out, is trying to maybe put in a bottom. And that's a totally valid thing, especially when you have all these lower shadows here. But at the same time, you do have to acknowledge that you have this uptrending line there, but you also have this flat little area right here. And then the key part is what was occurring before all this. Well, you had this big downwards move right here. So bear pennant, and as I mentioned earlier, bear pennant is not, a bearish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go downwards. But just like a bullish pattern doesn't mean for sure the price is going to go upwards. But right here, I would be skeptical of any bullishness right now. So just kind of keep that in mind. That would be the current setup of SPY, a bear pennant pattern. And again, for people getting logged on, if you have a request, please let me know. Could be a stock, could be futures, could be crypto. And on that note, I'm curious now, what's Bitcoin doing with all of this? Okay, yeah, so, let's go to the 4-hour time frame. I always like the 4-hour on Bitcoin. I think it's very valuable. And yeah, key dynamic here on Bitcoin, certainly going to be that pink line there, 200 period moving average. You can see right there a couple of false breakouts through there, right there, basically directly rejected by it. Right here, didn't hit it exactly, but I think we can all agree, got within the general vicinity and rejected back down through there. So if there is going to be any sort of truly, a chance at a bullish move on Bitcoin, in my opinion, on the 4-hour time frame, it is all about that 200 period moving average. Yes, Christopher's right. If you're enjoying, hit that like button. Yeah, if you enjoy these, if you enjoy the format, please hit that like button to communicate it to me. And the more likes, the helps with the algorithm, gets it out to more people. The more people that are here, then it just becomes more worth my time, and I can do this. Right now, still in experimentation mode, seeing if this is something that I want to continue to do or not. Right now, a little deflating, if I'm being honest with everybody. This is the lowest viewership I've had. Maybe it's just because it's Friday at lunchtime. Maybe a lot of people go out for lunch on Fridays. So I don't know. Maybe this isn't the greatest data point. What MAs am I using? The pink line here is the 200 period moving average. The purple line here is the 50 period moving average. So again, request, let me know. And if you're enjoying, hit that like button. And a super chat ensures that your request gets done. But I don't make any guarantees if it's not a super chat. I'll do my best to get to it. But so taking a look back here at Bitcoin. See that crazy movement here. Recovering back upwards. But yeah, like I said, on the 4-hour time frame, it's still all about that 200 period moving average. QBTS. All right, let's take a look at QBTS. So I did this analysis yesterday. That's where that line is coming from. And you can see that I drew that trend line in right there. And late day, it peaked its head up above that level, which was indeed the leading indicator to an even bigger breakout today. As of right now, looking very well. Let me take a step back. It is all about perspective. If you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy, within 7 seconds, well then yes, from that standpoint, the chart is looking not good for you at all with the pullback. But if you care about just the grand scheme of things, this is just, if we just say, all right, yeah, the price is pulling back, that's true. Well, then part of caring about the bigger picture is saying, yeah, but what was happening before this pullback? And you'd say, well, the price was down here, and then it went all the way up there, which is now given the ability to draw a bull flag pattern. So it's all about perspective, though, because, again, I'm well aware that if you're a scalper or day trader that bought right there, yeah, you don't care about this bull flag pattern from the bigger picture point of view. But overall, bull flag as of right now, and we'll see if late day it can get some sort of momentum, maybe make a push back up to this area and get the break up through there. Just because it breaks doesn't mean it'll for sure go, but it becomes at least a valid and plausible scenario that could potentially happen. Again, if you have any requests, let me know. I will gladly do them. So a quiet group, but so I'll keep looking at some other things while we wait for Omega. Hey, how you doing? Like I said, I want this to be viewer led. So if you have a request, let me know. If not, I'll do what I think maybe people care about. People usually care about Tesla. What's Tesla up to today? Ooh. Ugh. Okay, so this will mean more to those of you that maybe were on yesterday's live stream or watched yesterday's top 10 video. But talked about that green line right there as an important area of support. And you can see today the price did break down through there, which makes sense and why there is now continuation to the downside. But we'll make this easier to see. Let's come down to the 30-minute. And then right here also talked about, and some of this would mean a little bit more to those of you if you were on the, I'll take a look at a crypto. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So if you were watching, you would have seen me map out these lines here. So there was this wedge formation, but you can see this morning, bottom of the wedge was broken. And as I, talked about, if that wedge was broken, again, nobody can say there's ever a guarantee, but it did seem plausible that the price would at least come down and test that. But that's where the question mark came into play. All right, if the price broke through here, came down and tested that, again, not a huge mystery. But at that point, what would the price do? Would the bulls show up or not? And no, they did not show up at all. As the prices continue to drop, and even as I speak right now, you can see Tesla is currently going to lows here. So let's go to the 5-minute time frame here. And yeah, just there is a little miniature trend line right here that it just broke down. So you can see Tesla was trying to maybe do something, but here's an example of, a bear pennant pattern, which is what the overall market's in. So look at that. Broke the bear pennant and is now just getting further continuation to the downside. So Tesla is looking pretty rough right now. Hard to deny that. I want to start investing. Feel like I don't know where to start. Now, you want to start investing or trading? Those are two very different things. Investing or trading? You got to specify that. Investing means like you want to buy something and then hold it for the next, several years, or trading where you're looking to buy something and sell it within the next couple of minutes, maybe next couple hours, maybe next couple of days. So you got to kind of clarify your terms a little bit, which is fine. If you're new, you don't even know to clarify your terms. That's part of being new. Let's see. PLTR. Actually, I want to go. Was there anything else? Yeah, 30. Yeah, this is just pure. So I'm guessing Nvidia is doing the same right now since these. No, that would have been a wrong guess. Nvidia is holding up pretty well, all things considered. Once again, yeah, what I like is there's a lot of these lower shadows now. Lower shadow, lower shadow, lower shadow. So every time the bears have tried to press downwards, to give credit due, the bulls have shown up, push the price back up, push the price back up, push the price back up. And right now, trying to push the price back up. But then you also notice once the price gets up around this area, back down, and even right now, back down. So what is that? That's, yeah, right around 139.75, I would definitely say is the current key near-term area of resistance here on Nvidia. So I would certainly watch that. And then, yeah, main area of support right now down there right around, that makes it easy, about $1 range. 138.75, general key area of support. 139.75, general key area of resistance there. MLGO. Again, Bagel. What are you looking to do? Do you want to learn to invest or do you want to learn to trade? I'm happy to answer that question, but I want to make sure that we have our terms clarified before I throw up some thoughts. Yeah, MLGO did. Yeah, it's up. Okay, nobody will believe me, so I just have to show real quick because, like I said, nobody's gonna believe me that. So let me pull this over here or get this off. So let's see, where was this? There we go. So right here to my community this morning, where was it? Right there. MLGO 322 key breakout point. So identified 322 as a potential key breakout point. You can see that right there. That's from, again, and I'm not showing this to brag, but I am just showing it to illustrate the power of charts and that, my claims are true that I actually did make that alert. So I alerted it on the 1 minute. Whoops. Where was 322 even at? Oh, yeah, right here. So 322 is where I alerted it. It took a little bit of patience, came up broke. I mean, look at that. Beautiful back test. So broke resistance. You would expect resistance to act as support. Came back down there. Back tested it up there, which was a nice move in and of itself. Pulled back a little bit. But then since then, it's just been in a nice uptrend. But now, yeah, I didn't realize that it's gotten that crazy. I lost track of it. Holy smokes. Discord link. I guess I'll put it for everybody. This is how you would join the Discord. Up front, it's not free. It is not free. So if you're looking for, I only want free stuff, then you're exactly why I have a price on it. It's amazing what $100 filter will do to keep out drama queens, trolls, riff draft. It's amazing. Truly amazing. And it's not $100 per month. It's $100 for 3 months at a time. But it's amazing what such a low price like that will do to keep out the drama queens and riff draft. So if you're looking for a serious group of traders, a group that's not going to have trolls and all the sort of pump and dump stuff and all the games that play out in random free Discord rooms, you will not get it there. But it is not free. So, and I know that offends people. I know some people are offended by, they expect everything to be free. So if you're offended, it is what it is. Yeah, so on the 30-minute, there's really nothing you can talk about from a technical standpoint. I mean, I suppose you could maybe map out some pullback areas, but even that, it's just like, this thing is just going straight up right now. Thank you, Cinemotion, or Cinemotivation. Thank you. Yeah, what about, there's a 5 minute? Okay, 5 minute, we can get a little bit more knowledge here. So yeah, right now, had this candle show up, so it makes sense why this is pulling back some. So I could see a potential former breakout area right there. Now, I mean, we're on the 5 minute chart. So if you're some sort of like long-term investor, this is probably irrelevant to you. But like I said, daily time frame, essentially worthless other than just showing us a monster move. 30 minute, basically worthless, showing us the stock that's literally gone. There hasn't been a single red candle today. Bonkers. But 5 minute, we can actually get a little bit more. So if you are some sort of trader, day trader that is, and you still believe in the overall trend, well, you are getting yourself a pullback right there. I could see 783 being a level to keep an eye on. If you want to be a little bit more conservative, maybe 665. But of course, if you're waiting for that, the one risk that comes with it is you just the opportunity cost. You just miss out on the opportunity to take the trade, and it just curls back around, and you just totally miss the party. So that would be the threat there. But yes, as of right now, the nice thing with the pullback is you no longer have to worry about, am I the sucker that buys the top? Those people were right up here. Now, just because you're buying a pullback and you're not buying the top, I mean, that doesn't mean it's guaranteed to be a winning trade. I'm only just saying that at least you can put aside that concern of, am I going to be the person that buys the top? So like I said, how are we going to get... So these people right now, well, let's see. Will this area act as support? Yeah, 664. So I could do see 664, and then again, this is not trading advice. This is just me thinking out loud on the off the. So run through right there, put a stop loss down right around there. Oh, it's halted. All right. Is that showing up on my chart? I can't tell. Does it? Yeah. Okay. Yep. So right up there, you can see it is now halted. So this move right here, and you saw it earlier. I said, okay, there's that candle. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. It makes sense why there's a pullback, and then you saw that pullback just get that much bigger. JTO, a crypto. All right, I don't know if Webull has JTO. I think they just have the main ones. So it would have to be more of a main area. Trevor, I think you've been here before. Hey Clay, what are your thoughts on Grab? Let's take a look at G. Actually, I'll get to that, but let me make sure I didn't skip over anybody else's. And I should also note that if you've already made a request, in order to keep it fair to everybody else, I'll gladly do another one, but then a next one would need to be through a super chat, or else we run the risk of somebody just like blowing up the chat room with a bunch of them, and then nobody else gets a request. So if you've already made a request, totally fine. I would just say the next one, in order to keep it, try to keep it fair for other people, just make it a super chat. And if you don't know how to do a super chat, down at the chat box, there's a little square with a dollar sign in it. Click on that, and that'll allow for a super chat. Yeah, so Omega, I don't see JTO. I have no idea what JTO is. So I guess I should have clarified. I'll take a look at some of the main staple cryptos because that's what's on Webull here, which is the platform that I'm using. So as a trader, would you do like SPLG? Okay, I don't know what you mean by... I would say this. If you want to learn, Bagel, let me link you this. This is a bunch of free stuff that I offer at my blog. But then I also offer this, which is my not free program, which is everything structured, organized, been around since 2013. So I've, fine-tuned it over the years, and it's got a ton of content. But you're saying you want to learn. So there you go. There's a couple of resources that you could use. One is free, but it's just totally random, a mishmash of stuff. But it is free. The other one is very organized, very structured. I am a former process engineer. So I'm kind of a geek. I like to build a process, and that's what the structured is. It's a process of learning, a process of approaching things. But yeah, you can check those out. Oh, JITO is the crypto? JITO. No, that can't be what I mean. Yeah, I know. Well, it doesn't have a big enough market cap for to be on Webull. Let's see. Grab. Let's. Oh, that's not a good looking daily right now. Yeah, so the daily right now is not very awe-inspiring at all. Big old rejection. Started great, especially after a gap down. I'm going to think that at one point the price was... Or, I'll do this to illustrate what I mean. So let me... So at one point today... The chart looked like that. Good, solid green candle. But then all of a sudden, like I said, at one point, that's how things were looking. But now it looks like that. Meaning that whole green candle was wiped away. Down it's gone. So the sellers have shown up. So I don't like that candle at all, to be fair. There's still time to recover. So let's drop down to the 30-minute time frame. Uh-oh. Come on now. Oh, I'm sorry, that's why. Whoops. My annotation was still on. There we go. Oh, wow. So that all happened in the opening 30 minutes too. So right now, 30-minute, definitely the thorn in the side of the bulls is that purple line there, 50 period moving average. You can see that's just been the rejection point time and time again. And I just noticed, so I'll say it. If you are enjoying this format, if you feel like you're learning, if you just find this helpful, if you find anything positive about what I'm doing here with this structure, please hit that like button. That's a very easy way to tell me, to communicate that you are liking this. So hit that like button if you are enjoying. And super chats are always appreciated too. So yeah, that 50 period, if it does come back down, the level that I think is going to be very, very important is that trend line for a couple reasons. Reason number one, it is just showing that the price is making progress. But reason number two is if the price violates down through that trend line, that would also imply that the price is violated down through that pink line there, 200 period moving average, which would not be good. But to be fair, also it's that, that's still quite a bit of ways to go to even do to test that. But yeah, this candle right there has certainly got me nervous because I think you requested in the nearer term, right? Yeah, a shorter term play. Yeah. So in the shorter term, I don't like it because of this candle right here. The sellers really showed up. And now the bulls have a lot of work to do to try to turn this thing around. Again, it could totally be turned around because it is still in an uptrend. But as far as that candle right there, yeah, that would have me nervous. IVVD. All right, let's take a look at IVVD. Again, for those of you who are here, if you have a request, I will do a stock, future, crypto. As long as it's the main one, I can do Forex. So just let me know in the chat box. And if you want for sure your request to be done, a super chat will make that happen for sure. And I'll do it right away. Because the other risk is you give me a suggestion, but I don't get to it until 15, 20 minutes from now. So will you still be around at that point? I don't know. But if you want me to do it immediately, super chats make that happen. Again, thank you for hitting that like button. That's always very helpful. All right, IVVD. It's nice, but am I missing something? Very weak volume. Big explosive move, not the greatest volume though. So that's not the most, that's not making or breaking the chart, but that's not the most awe-inspiring set of circumstances either. Yeah, well, let's see what the daily or 30-minute has to say. So 30-minute, nice pattern here. Nice move up. If there's any sort of pullbacks, and I would call that the preferable level at $1.57. I mean, if you say, hey, Clay, what make this chart look the strongest moving forward? Definitely if the price can stay above $1.57, because even if the price were to come down here and do something like that, all you'd essentially have is, yeah, you'd have a pullback, but you'd have this move up right there, so you'd have a bull flag pattern. So that's where, pullbacks aren't necessarily a bad thing, but that all does go back to perspective. If you're a scalper, day trader that bought right there, then yeah, you definitely, the chart's already looking pretty shaky for you. But assuming you care about the bigger picture of things, everything is hanging in there. Everything is doing well and maintaining above these areas. As far as next potential battlegrounds are concerned, let's go to the 4-hour real quick. So 4-hour just means each one of these represents 4 hours of time. Yeah, that's going to be the next key battleground. In fact, is that where it got rejected from today? I can't quite tell. Close, very close. So $1.78, you can see, was the high from this big explosion move right there. And then another big explosion move. And didn't hit exactly, but got very close. So that'll be the main area of resistance. Let's see. APLD. Let's take a look at APLD. So definitely a very nice move today, no doubt about that. Hello, Da Silva. Yeah, so from the daily, not a whole lot can be gathered from it other than it's made a big move up. Preferably speaking, this would be an area that you'd like to see the price now hold up above this general area at about $11, just because that is the former breakout point. So from just a general health perspective, when levels of resistance are broken, you do like to see them act as support. That's always a good sign of genuine strength. If the price were to pull back here, not the worst, but I mean, if it consolidate like that, that would be good. That would give it, again, just from a pattern standpoint, if something like that were to happen, you'd have a pullback here. And then you'd still have this big move up here. So you'd still have an overall bull flag pattern. So yeah, right around that $11 area, I would say, is a key level from the daily time frame. Is it stocks? It's everything. It's whatever you need to take a look at. Right now, this is a stock. But if you have a request for a crypto or a Forex pairing or a futures contract, that works too. Let's go down to the 30-minute. Okay, so 30-minute, we now see where that red line came from. That it may seem kind of random looking at the 30-minute, but remember, that red line is coming from the daily time frame. And then right now, headed into the afternoon session. Got to think a lot of people have probably drawn a trend line like that. So headed into the afternoon session, we have that resistance. We have that support. We have that move up right there. So there is currently a bull pennant pattern. So APLD not looking too bad. Trevor's in at 482. What was Trevor in at? I'll grab. Okay, so 482. So you have plenty of wiggle room. That's good. That's good. I'm glad your entry was not like 525 or something like that. Let's see. All right, LTC. We have. Now I know this one's got. Taking a look at Litecoin here for Omega. So let's see here. Again, leave your request, stock, futures, options, Forex. This is viewer driven. I will talk about what you want to talk about. And like I said, Biggs, you already made a request. So in order to keep things fair, if you want to do follow-up requests, that's fine, but those require super chats. Okay, all right. Well, Litecoin. Let's get rid of these. The main overall level that matters on this one, right up here at about 140, 150. I think we can all agree that This is a very nasty area where whenever the bullish momentum gets up there, it just disappears. So right there, disappeared. Right there, actually got through it, but then disappeared, and a nasty move right there, disappeared right at that level. And then even over the past few days, right up around that area, and it has disappeared. So yeah, 140, 150 is like the momentum killer on Litecoin right now. So keep an eye on that as the overarching level. And then going down to the 4 hour. So again, that's where that level's, you know where that red line there is coming from. I would say really, I don't have any necessarily worry. I would not have any worries personally about Litecoin as long as the price stays above the pink line right there, the 200 period moving average. Because even if it stays, so even if it drops down and it's down around this area, from an overarching standpoint, what you essentially have is there is our resistance. And if we just use the pink line there as kind of a trend line, that's going to draw itself for us, and it keeps sloping up. What we have here is basically a big ascending triangle pattern, which is bullish. But as I mentioned earlier, and it's worth repeating, just because there's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed anything is going to go upwards. But that is why I would just say that even if the price pulls back more, as long as it stays above the pink line, then Litecoin is still technically in an ascending triangle pattern, which is a bullish pattern. Now, if you're bearish, then yeah, you want to see that pink line there get demolished. And then 30-minute. So yeah, 30-minute right now. The pink line is actually doing a good job of holding. So that's, but we're on the 30-minute now. So this is much more of a condensed view. Why does Bitcoin fall on Fridays? I don't know. Is that actually true, or is that a confirmation bias on your part? If it is true, then my question to you would be, why are you not shorting Bitcoin every Friday? But I don't think that's true. I think it's a confirmation bias that you have. But again, I could be wrong. So if it is true, then like I said, my question to you is, why are you not shorting Bitcoin every Friday? Forex and gold. I don't know what you mean by Forex and gold. Can you be a little bit more specific? Brian, BBAI. All right, let's take a look at, this has been a main staple around here recently. So the pullback continues. Yesterday, the hammer was encouraging to see. And to be fair, it's not like the hammer has been violated. The price is still up above the lows of that hammer. But it did gap up. And as of right now, just today, seemingly a gap and trap. So, TJ Daniels, you can super chat that one. You show up every day, request that. You can super chat that one up, my friend. So yes, daily, if you trade gold and Forex. Well, no, I don't trade gold and Forex, no. But I mean, I'm happy to look at a chart for gold and Forex. You don't have to trade something to be able to look at it. That's the nice thing about charts. Charts are just telling you patterns and stuff like that. Yeah, so 30-minute, again, not the end of the world, but certainly not looking the best. 200 period has been violated to the downside. It's starting to pick up some downwards pressure. Again, I don't want to paint rosy pictures for people, but I would prefer to at least offer up some positives. But yeah, right now, struggling to really find any sort of this line here is still just wreaking havoc to everything. So let's get this extended back out. So even this morning right here, the price didn't hit that trend line, but that's a trend line we've had in place for quite a while. And you can see once again, didn't hit exactly, but certainly got within the general vicinity of it before getting rejected back down. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really like the chart that much at all right now. The only thing that, like I said, I will give credit, and what makes me still have some hope is it hasn't totally wiped away the hammer candle. Because this day right here is what's forming the hammer candle right there. So the hammer candle is still in play. But if the hammer candle is wiped away, think about what else is getting wiped away. It would be these lows from back here getting wiped away. And right now, there does seem to be quite a bit downwards pressure. But again, the price has not violated that level. So, the price could curl itself back upwards. Maybe you get a higher base. But yeah, not a huge fan of this one right now. Just bought more at 702. Uh-oh. Brian, are you just averaging down? Are you just buying more to average down just because you refuse to take a loss? I hope not. What's your favorite small stock? None, Gilberto. Small stocks are a waste of time. What do you mean small stocks are a waste of time? Because there are way better ways that you can go about trading the market. So people trade small stocks because they have small accounts. Totally fine. Totally fair. Like, no problem. But there is such a better way to approach the market with not a lot of money, and that would be the futures market. Here's reason number one. If you have a small account, so you need small stocks, well, then you're going to have to deal with this thing called the pattern day trading rule. Futures, there is no pattern day trading rule. Also, futures move quickly. Futures move just as fast, if not even faster, than those small cap stocks. So no pattern day trading rule. Futures market is open pretty much around the clock. They move very quick. If you're into shorting those small stocks, you know, in the world of futures, you don't have to go out there and locate shares. You don't have to pay extra to locate shares. None of that nonsense. None of that hassle. You just go and you short something. And then the best part is, again, under the premise, if you care about small stocks, it's probably because you have a smaller account. Again, no shame in that. But if you go to that link that you see on top, you could go and do futures with a prop firm, and you could get yourself $50,000 worth of buying power for $85. Now, there are rules. You can't just show up and act like a total degenerate. So there's a rule, and one of the rules is you cannot lose $2,000. But here's a cool thing. Because stupid days happen, because we all have those days where like, oh, I can't believe what just happened. And let's just say you lose $2,000. Did you actually lose $2,000 out of your account? Now, if you're doing small stocks with your own money, then yes, you literally just lost $2,000 out of your account. But in this situation, no, you did not lose $2,000. You lost the cost of the account, and the cost of the account was $85. So that is why I would argue, and that is why I would say I don't have a favorite small stock, because small stocks are a total waste of time. There is such a better and more efficient way to go about it, a way that's way more risk controlled. And I mean risk controlled because, again, if you lose your mind and you do something really stupid and you kind of just have one of those days where you go on tilt, I think we've all been there. I would rather have one of those days where you lose $2,000. I don't want it to come from my actual account. I'd prefer it to only cost me $85. So stay away from small stocks. Consider futures, okay? So good question, Gilberto, but you're wasting your time. I'm telling you there's a better way. I've never met a single trader, and again, I've been around since 2013. Never met a single trader that tried futures and then went back to stocks because they're like, oh, wait, futures are so much better, so much easier, so much less hassle. Now, I don't mean easier in this sense to make money. I just mean, oh, there's no pattern day trading rule. There's a lot of time flexibility. It's not a hassle if I want to go short. I mean, so that's what I mean by easy. Trading in general is hard. Man, some people are savage. They'll request, and you're like, hey man, well, why don't you throw up a super chat, and then they just disappear. It's like, nope. Which is a little spooky because if my opinion is only good free of charge, you should not be valuing my opinion at all. If you really just stop and think about it. Like, that's a scary thing to be. Why do you care about somebody's opinion if the highest value put on it is, I only care if it's free? That's kind of sketchy. That's consider that thought process. Good morning. It's a pattern I've noticed. Still not operating. Yeah, well, again, I think it's a pattern based on confirmation bias. I don't think that Bitcoin falls every Friday. But again, to be fair, I do not have some sort of statistical sample size that's telling me that my claim is true. So it could be true. Maybe Bitcoin does fall every Friday. And if that's the case, you should be shorting every Friday. I sold a covered call and trying to lower the cost basis. Gotcha. All right. Well, that's not, at least you're not like total degen mode. So yes, please, everybody, if when I say pattern day trading rule, you're like, that's so annoying, consider futures. consider futures. I've been trading just stocks and crypto for about 6 years now. What is the risk to reward ratio trading futures? I don't know what you mean by risk to reward ratio. Way better if you do a prop firm. Because again, if you lose $2,000 in the prop firm, all they do is take away your account. But what did you pay for the account? $85. So in other words, your risk was $85. But if you can prove yourself, then the sky's the limit. So I would argue through a prop firm, risk versus reward in futures is a million times better, especially when you're new. Because guaranteed, as a new trader, you're going to have really bad days. You're going to do really dumb things. I would prefer those really bad days where you learn a lot, not cost you $2,000. I would prefer it just to cost you the $85. So that is my main argument, especially for beginner traders, newer traders, struggling traders. When you're still trying to figure things out, I'd hate to have, that was a good learning experience, and then it cost you like $3,000. When it's like, well, you could have got that same exact learning experience for $85. Or, there's different things. If you wanted to have $100,000 of purchasing power, $165. In this case, you'd be allowed to lose up to $3,000 before they take the account away from you. So yeah, I think the risk reward ratio is way better for futures. Did I do HOLO? I can't remember. No, I don't think I've done HOLO yet. What are your thoughts on crypto? Waste of time. Waste of time. Now, you can make money on crypto. Well, I guess I don't know. Are you talking about it from like an investment thesis standpoint? Like, is it going to become a mainstay? Or are you asking me about from just as a trading product? That would be I guess I need a little bit more clarification. From what angle are you asking? Hey, the Dougie's here. The Dougie gave me a super chat yesterday. I remember the Dougie. All right, HOLO, nice move here. Got scared away by the purple line up there, the 50-day simple moving average. Again, if you're liking what you see here, if you enjoy the conversation, if you enjoy the analysis, and also in the title, it says Chit Chat. So if you have questions, it's not just all analysis. I'm happy to answer questions as much as I can. But yeah, like I said, if you're enjoying, make sure you hit that like button so you can communicate to me, communicate to the algorithm that they should be showing this to more people, because the more people we get here, the more it's worth my time. And the more it's worth my time, the more I'm willing to do this. What do you think about BABA and China stocks? I'll get to that in a little bit here. Let's see, where was I? HOLO. Again, for those of you that are just newer, if you want me to immediately address a request or a question or whatever, Super Chat makes me do it right away. Because again, you do run the risk that maybe I don't get to it. We got about 18 minutes before I'm going to call it good. I'm keeping these right around an hour. So if you want me to directly get to something, like I said, a Super Chat is a way to make that happen. Yeah, so daily time frame up here, rejected back down. 30. Yeah, 30 is fine. Again, always kind of tricky to talk about things. Day traders that bought right there, things are not fine. So when I say it's fine, I'm just looking at things from an overall standpoint because the price is still nicely above the 200 period moving average. And that would be the level where we say, hey, Clay, what's going to make this chart look the best moving forward? And that would be staying above the pink line, because as time goes by, that pink line, is going to look something like this. So even if the price were to come down some more and then it kind of chops around right here, what do you still have from the overarching standpoint? You'd have some sort of bull pennant pattern. So pink line there, 200 period moving average is definitely the level that I would say matters the most and is going to kind of, I think, drive whether or not this thing finds more momentum. Because if the price falls below there, I can see people just kind of losing interest in it and then having it, drift back down to this gap fill location and potentially even go down to that green line right there. But as of right now, very nice recovery off of these lows down here. HOLO just bought more. AMD rejecting the trend line. Did it? Let's look at the daily. Oh, no. No. I'm not sure what trend line is being referred to. Maybe he that one? Is that what it got rejected off of? Yeah, my guess would be that's the trend line he's referring to. Came up there and just, yeah, it did indeed reject off it. Hi, which platform requires $85 to trade futures? Did you go to that link? claychart.com/ this one right here. And you want to use that link because that'll give you 50% off the prices. So the broker is called Take Profit Trader. They're the prop firm. Use that link to get 50% off. And then you would use, I would suggest using Tradeovate as the platform. But you're using Tradeovate through, you're using it through the prop firm. All right, Trevor is going right to straight to the line here. ARWR. Thank you, and also Trevor, thank you very much. All right, so daily time frame, I think just from an overarching standpoint, that trend line right there seems to be the main culprit of just stubbornness towards the bulls and any sort of upwards movement. Whenever the price has gotten around there, momentum has disappeared, including right there that was a cruel little move. Got above there and then said, just kidding, and then all the way back down. I mean, brutal. And that's the stuff just as why risk management matters. I mean, because this happened. Because I understand. There are some people that are like, I'm a breakout trader. I'm buying the breakout. So they bought the breakout. And you know what? Just because you buy a breakout, it's not guaranteed to work. There are no guarantees. There's no perfect system within the market. So people bought the breakout right there. They got stubborn. Some of them did. And this thing came down. Nope. And then, I mean, accounts gone. Or accounts severely damaged. Because you can only hold for so long before your broker's showing up. And yeah, so that's a nasty move right there. Granted, it did come back up. But still, even if these people that bought right there and then held through all that and went back up, they will not be around very long because that is just, I mean, that was a terrible habit that was reinforced by the market. And the market likes to build bad habits so it can later use that habit against you to absolutely crush you. But daily time frame, sometimes I go off on tangent, so sorry about that, Trevor. But I think there's a little good learning lesson in that. So let's drop down to 30-minute. So not a whole lot new here. We still have that line up there. Now the 30-minute, don't like that. Now, does that ruin the entire chart? It does not, but it's been several days since the price has been down below that purple line, 50-period moving average. So that does suggest that there could be some more downside pressure showing up. And as of right now, yeah, the downward pressure has shown up. But really, the level, in my opinion, that is more of a bigger red flag would be the pink line down there, 200-period moving average. If the price were to go down there and break down below it, then yeah, that would be a relatively big red flag of uh-oh. I think the bulls are using it and are losing it, and the bears are starting to pick back up, because if the price drops below that pink line, then it pretty much just puts the chart in kind of this no man's land in a sense. But I'm also maybe getting a little ahead of ourselves because the price isn't technically anywhere close to that pink line. So Safa, does that make sense about which platform requires $85 to trade futures? If you go to that link, that is all explained right there. Again, you're trading futures through a prop firm, which also makes it nice because you don't even have to sign up for a broker. They create the account for you, and then they'll give you the login and password, and then you just go right at it. It's really a convenient setup, which is why I mentioned earlier I have not met a single stock trader that was in stocks, went to futures, and then came back to stocks. Because if you do futures, in a certain way, it's very convenient. Yes, is it good time to short ES futures? It is not. And the reason why it is not is because the fact that you need to ask me that tells me you don't know what you're doing. And the fact that you don't know what you're doing tells me that you should not be trading. So no, it's not the time to short. It's not the time to go long. It's time to learn. Because asking strangers on the internet, asking strangers on live streams, hey, is it a good time to go short? You have no confidence in yourself. That's not how, if only trading were that easy. If only trading were as easy as going around and saying, hey, live streamer, hey, is it a good time to go short? I don't know. You didn't even tell me what time frame. It could be good to go short on the 30-minute time frame, but really bad to go short on the daily time frame, but you didn't tell me what time frame you're looking at, so I don't know what angle or what perspective you're even considering. And again, the fact that you didn't know to provide more context tells me you don't know what you're doing, which is totally cool. Like, we all start off at that spot. I started off having no idea what I was doing, but I'm just At risk of sounding like a jerk, I'd rather be a jerk and give you the truth. And the truth is, you should not be trading right now. You have a lot more learning to do. The broker I'm using Tradovate through. I'm trading futures, upcoming billionaire. I am trading futures through a prop firm. And the prop firm that I'm using, or on the platform that I'm using, is Tradovate. But I do not have a Tradovate account. I have a prop firm account that has then gone and created the platform for me. Clay, do you sell or trade options? I don't trade options. That's a total waste of time. I'll sell options every now and then, but no, like trading options makes no sense again relative to futures, because options have this thing called theta and all these Greeks, which makes things a little bit more complicated. And not to mention, options still fall under the pattern day trader rule, so really no need to do that. Shout out to being a jerk. There we go. TKR must be gone because they never specified what they meant by what do I think on crypto. Daryl, XHLD. And Daryl, just FYI, I will get to it. That's the thing, is if you want me to see it right away, it's got to be a super chat. But I'm just going at the top and working my way down. So if I have not gotten to your alert, it's not because I have not seen it. It's just because I have not gotten to it. So, but I think that was actually the next one anyways. Yeah. Yeah, because TKR was the question about crypto, and then you were right underneath that. So, XHLD. How do you like futures compared to stocks? Stocks are garbage, pure garbage, compared to futures. And I think I have a very good case for that. No pattern day trading rule. They're open pretty much around the clock. If you want to short, you can just short. You don't have to go locate shares. You don't have to pay extra to short. You just short. And when you do with prop firms, risk is very, very minimal, because again, if you were to do, if you want $50,000 worth of buying power, that would cost you $85. And then if you go up and lose your mind and have a really bad day and you lose $2,000, yes, they will take the account away from you, but your only loss is what you spent for the account, which was $85. And then you can get another account if you want. You can try again, which would just be another $85. So for that reason, futures through a prop firm, stocks, I see nothing. I see no reason why it makes any sense to trade stocks. Whoa, stocks are garbage compared to futures. And how come most people on YouTube do not touch futures? Because most people, okay, well, refute my case. What about my case do you disagree with? There's no pattern day trading rule. They're open around the clock. It's hassle-free to short. Just because a bunch of people do something doesn't mean that it's the smartest thing to do. Like, refute my points. Like, what about my points do you think it makes how they're, how stocks are not garbage? Stocks, do you have $25,000, Ari Pages? That's my first question to you. Do you have $25,000? And I'm asking that for a very specific reason, because I need to figure something out within the pattern day trading rule framework of things. So let's start there. Because I know that's kind of a bold claim, but they are. They're total garbage. I know it may sound like I'm pressing up in your business, asking if you have $25,000, but there's a reason I'm asking. And maybe you do understand the reason if you understand the pattern day trading rule. I haven't looked into futures, to be honest, but my thinking is that a futures position requires too many factors to account for. But stocks you can... Oh, that's fair, Ari, but that's why I'm a technical trader. Because if I'm trading a stock, as a technical trader, I don't care about balance sheets. I don't care about cash flow statements. I'm just looking at the chart. Same is true for futures. I'm just looking at the chart. So that's a fair point. Assuming you want to be a technical trader, though, and just use technical charts, then futures are so much better than stocks. But I do agree. If you're like, no, I want to be able to factor in cash flow statements and all that. But no, I don't have $25,000 at this time, but I'm with a prop firm. I don't understand what you're arguing about. Surely you know that futures are way better than stocks from a trading standpoint. And just for people listening in, the reason I asked about the $25,000 was because In the world of stocks and options, if you don't have $25,000, then you fall underneath the pattern day trader rule, which in summary just means you're not allowed to trade as much as you want. It's ridiculous. It's the dumbest. I mean, welcome to government regulations. It's whatever. It's so ridiculous, but it is what it is. But in the world of futures, you don't need to have $25,000. You could have, again, with a prop firm, $85, which gets you $50,000 in buying power. Now, again, with a prop firm, they want you to manage risk. You have to manage risk. So if you lose $2,000, then they will take the account away from you. But again, you don't lose $2,000 from your pocket. You lost $85. But the point is, with futures, there's no pattern day trader rule, so you can trade as much as you want. But yes, if you want to, do fundamental analysis and all that, but then again, you could still do that on futures. If you want to do a bunch of deep dive into gold or into wheat or soybeans or the NASDAQ market, if you have some sort of economic theory on why you think the NASDAQ is going to come down, well, you can still make money from that just by shorting futures. You technically need more than $25,000 to trade stocks because you have to wait for funds to settle as well. Yeah, in a sense, Duke. Technically speaking, you did need $25,000 with a margin account because the margin account is how you overcome the settling thing. But you are right. What you're describing is true, and it builds upon the case that, stocks are just a hassle. Can you explain who covers the loss? Because at this point, it's simulation. They are testing you. So that's a good question. At this point, it's a test, and they want to see, can you even make $3,000? So right up here, here's how it works. You purchase an account size. You prove that you can trade, right? So you manage risk. You don't lose more than you can. You make the profit. So you reach the profit target, and then they give you what is known as a funding account, and you can start getting payments right away, at least with this broker or with this prop firm. So you just, you get the money in your account. So yes, this right here, you're not technically losing, the company's not losing $2,000 because it's a test phase. So you're proving yourself, and then once you prove yourself, that's where the gains come in. But if you make $3,000, you don't get to keep the $3,000 because this is just proving that you can trade. But the point is in this phase, like if you know how to trade, well then you'll pass the test and it's no big deal. But if you don't know how to trade, I'd rather have you not knowing how to trade and having that cost you $85 as opposed to you using your real money not knowing how to trade and have it literally costing you $2,000. Is there? Yeah, right here. I'm telling you right here, the fee. There is a fee, $85, which gives you $50,000 in purchasing power. Usually this is good discussion. I like. What leverage do you trade micros at? The leverage is capped, which makes it nice. You don't have to do any math. They flat out tell you. So for the 50,000 account, you can do 6 what are known as mini contracts or 60 micros. Because micros, the gains add up a lot less, but so do the losses, but you can just do more of those. So they just flat out tell you how much leverage. Well, right there. You could go up to 6 contracts because that's what the 50,000 will buy you. So it's paying a paper trade in a sense. Correct. Yes. Yeah. Because this right here it's a simulator environment because they want to see if you can trade, which makes sense from their standpoint, right? They're not going to just hand you $50,000 of real money to somebody that they don't even know if they can trade, right? So there is a test phase. When you started out, how did you learn? Through trial and error. And I don't know if I had an advantage or not. Because back in 2006 when I started, YouTube was around. YouTube was a thing. I don't know. No. When I was in college, I remember Facebook just came out. So social media was kind of a thing, but not really. So there wasn't a lot of resources. But at the same time, I almost wonder, was that even better? Because now it seems like people probably get so overwhelmed because there's like a million things out there. And what do you do? What's right? What's wrong? So I don't know. So how did I learn? Through trial and error, which was terrible. I'll never do it again. And my proof on that was before I got into real estate investing. I invested like $5,000, just underneath $5,000 into courses and stuff like that. Because I'm like, I am not doing that again, what I experienced with trading. So yeah, I am actually a firm believer in paying for education. And I have a video that I did way back when on my channel that where I document like literally everything I paid for through my real estate investing. Because I get it. I sell something. So of course I'm going to say, well, I believe in paying for education. Well, how convenient. The guy that sells something is saying that, which is a fair critique, but that's why I wanted to show that. No, I genuinely do believe in it, and here are all the receipts from all the stuff that I bought before I got into real estate investing, which was a good, let me put it this way. That $5,000 I invested into my real estate investing education, I made that back a whole lot. And I think the biggest way I've made it back was I never did anything really stupid in real estate investing. And sometimes that's the best offense is a good defense. Let's just make sure we don't do something really, really stupid. Market is oversaturated with CC. And you got to be careful. Tons of fakes and scammers. Yeah, I don't know what CC is, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I had it rougher or better by when I started and just having so much less information. Yeah, I can only imagine. Hey, what are your 3 favorite futures you trade? I don't have 3. I have 2, the MNQ and the NQ. Good question. Robinhood, switch the cash account to avoid PDT. When you trade stocks same day, the settled amounts appear before 12 midnight. Yeah, no, exactly. But that's the whole point is you still have to wait for settlement. A lot of people are like, well, you can get around the pattern day trader rule by just using the cash account. It's like, no, you still have to wait for the cash to settle. It's a hassle. Not to mention in the world of stocks, what do you have to do with stocks? You have to do this thing called, well, I got to run my scanners. I got to run my screeners. I got to find good setups. What are the good stocks? What are the good stocks today? And you have to, you're literally spending time. Whereas Ari asked, what are my favorite futures? I do zero scanning. I show up every day. Let me pull this up. So is this showing? Yeah. So I show up every day and I know that this is what I'm going to be trading right here. The NQ or the MNQ, and that's it. And here's the other thing is like, well, I don't understand futures. Let's just say you didn't know this was futures. And if you use charts, could I have said this is a stock chart and would you know any different? No, you wouldn't know any different. You're like, oh yeah, that looks like a chart. Exactly. That's what I'm saying is when you know how to use a chart, you could go from stocks to futures, no problem. Because like I said, I could have told you that this was not, I could have lied to you and been like, hey, this is a stock chart. And you'd have no idea because it looks just like a stock chart. Why are the markets dumping? I don't know. Where are we at time-wise? Oh, we're over an hour, but I'm going to keep going because this is fun. Actually, some good conversation. I like it. I like the good conversation. This is great. So yes, I reject the premise that somehow using the cash account gets around the PDT rule. It doesn't because you still have to wait for settlements. So what's the difference between your platform versus paper trade with Webull? Because my platform, so this right here, what you just saw, this is to get money. Once you pass the test, you start to get money. You can set up a test for yourself on Webull, but just because you pass the test, it's not like you're actually going to get any money. Again, Safa, just go to that link that you see at the top of the screen. This right here. It'll explain how it all works. And I'm sending that link because that'll make sure you get 50% off. But yeah, markets are. So this is the MNQ. Goodness. What's the... I mean, I almost want to try to go long here. Maybe I should just for the... Should I do a trade here just for the sake of showing kind of how futures work? Yeah, I'm going to. So, all right. So let's just say that, because right now I'm basically catching a falling knife. Catching a falling knife, not exactly the smartest thing to do, but let's just say you want to. So what you can do within the world of futures is you can come up here and choose one. So I want one contract. I am on the micros, meaning that I am not going to make or lose a whole lot of money. So check this out. Let me buy. This one's actually very volatile. And then, will this even show up? Okay, I got to move this over a little bit. There we go. So this down here is going to start to fluctuate around. I'm probably going to cost myself money here, but that's all right for the learning lesson. So let me just buy. See if it wants to come back down. Actually, that might be better because at least I get a stop. 18. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and buy.
Order filled.
And then let me get my stop in place down there. So right here, notice how this is fluctuating. And that's only one micro. Is it going to stop me out? Probably, since I'm trying to catch fly knives here. But that's it. I bought just one micro. I could have bought up to 60 of these things, but this is just one. So you see it fluctuating down there. So now you can see it's in the green. So again, the gains are not going to add up super quick with one micro, but the risk is also very minimal. And plus, it's just one. You could do more than one if you wanted to. Let's see if this thing wants to push up a little bit. Come on.
Order filled.
All right. So just hopping out there because this is, I mean, that was a pretty random trade just for the sake of the video. But there you go. So that was one micro. And you saw the gains fluctuating. And those could have been way bigger. Had I done NQ, which is kind of the big brother. So the MNQ, M standing for micro, is the little brother of the NQ. And the NQ things, I'm not willing to show you that because that adds up in a hurry. Futures trading is really 24 hours, 6 days a week. Yeah, it is open pretty much around the clock. Are the fees, commissions high trading futures? No, $5. Or excuse me, on the MNQ. So what I was just trading, that trade cost me 50 cents. So to buy and sell, buying was 25 cents per contract, selling was 25 cents per contract. On the MNQ, so on the Big Brother, it would be $2.50 to buy, $2.50 to sell. So $5 total. But that's like nothing because you can overcome those commissions in a hurry. What I should have opened up a sim account and then just shown and that way I could do some NQ so you can see how fast I move. But like I said. And nobody would have known whether or not I was doing a stock unless I told people that I was doing futures. So like this whole idea, and all I did was I came up here and I pressed buy. And now the only thing, you just want to select your contract. So that's the little thing. You're never going to be buying 100 contracts like you might buy 100 shares, but you don't need to buy. Yeah, a few contracts adds up very quickly. I mean, you saw those gains fluctuating. Never ever mess with futures. You should totally if I'm telling you, if you get into futures, you won't go back to stocks. Kevin, there's a million people that teach day trading. It's finding the good ones that are the problem. No offense to you, Clay. None taken. I just found out about you. How did you find out about me, Kevin? Just from the live stream, out of curiosity. From the live stream or from one of my other videos? Hey, all right. Boss Hog on candy. All right. Clay, hey, I thank you for that. A question and a $5 super chat with that. That's awesome. Very kind of you. Is there a quicker way to find ticker units in future? You don't need to find tickers. You're going to identify one. I would say start on the MNQ. So this is what you would start at. MNQ, and every day you're going to be trading the MNQ because literally every day there's going to be opportunity. So that's what I mean by with stocks, you've got to like search around for things. You got to like, okay, well, what's the hot stock today? What's the big mover today? You don't do that at all. You just trade the same thing every day because the same thing every day gives you opportunity. But I got to get to this super chat here. So, and again, if you're liking this, if you enjoy the conversation, everything, then hit that like button. Do you use VWAP in your Trade King at all? I think you just mean my trading. Yes, yeah, yep. I love the VWAP. VWAP is right here. That dotted yellow line is VWAP. But this thing is just getting beat down so much that you couldn't even see the VWAP. But yes, I love the VWAP. It's one of my favorite indicators. And the main reason I like it is I think a lot of people do use it. And when a lot of people are using the same indicator and told about it in certain ways, it can create some self-fulfilling prophecies. So even if you want to argue the VWAP doesn't work, the VWAP, all it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like, oh, wait a second, you just conceded it worked. How so? Well, you just admitted that there is such a thing as self-fulfilling prophecies. So if you have admitted that there is such a thing as self-fulfilling prophecies, wouldn't it be wise to therefore want to know where and what those self-fulfilling prophecies are? I would argue, yes, it would be wise to want to know those things, and that the VWAP is one of those locations. MNQ and NQ in futures, eh? I'm so surprised to see a purely... Really? Yeah, Ari, yeah, I mean, look at this thing. Multiple opportunities. And so actually, let's do this. Let's go to the 30-minute. So like, oh my goodness. So this was today. Just a nasty move down. So a lot of opportunity there. This was yesterday. Look at that big move down. Look at that big bounce. Look at that late day breakout. A bunch of opportunity there. Let's go back to the next day. Right there, big move up, move down, move back up. Plenty of opportunity right there. Every single day, you just watch the same thing. Look at, holy smokes, a bunch of opportunity there. Look at that big old bounce back up. Opportunity there. I mean, look at this. I mean, grinding opportunity there. You don't, every day is, there are no hot stocks and futures. It's just futures, and you just watch the same ones every day. Maybe some people watch a couple of them, but at most, like one or two. But yeah, there's no need to run around, I got to find the next hot stock. No, you don't. Wow. Well, I'm glad I took that off where I did, because I would have definitely been stopped out if this thing continues to go down. Yeah, take care, Omega. All right. I've not done any analysis, but Boss Hog on Candy, does that make sense? You have any other more questions? I definitely want to show your respect to the super chat. Kevin, yep. Okay, cool. Well, all right. Well, that's motivating to know that the live has brought in somebody that's never even heard of me before. But yeah, no, Kevin, no offense is taken. I get it. I could be a total scumbag. You don't know me. I'm glad you are skeptical. So please be skeptical. I guess my biggest thing is, been around. I'm one of like the old timers. Been around since 2013. Not that means that therefore I'm not a scammer, but yeah, I'll have to leave that up for you to decide. But no offense is taken. In fact, I would be worried if you just showed up and were like, "Hey, I blindly trust you. I just heard of you. I trust you." It's like, okay, you're just setting yourself up to get fleeced. So I appreciate that. That is a good thing. This is great. Now I can't keep up. The chat is almost too much, which is good. So again, now I literally, if you want me to see something, a super chat will be needed, because which prop firms could you say for me? I recommend the one that's on the screen. And the main reason I recommend them is that one of the pitfalls of prop firms is that they can be very shady. And a lot of them have these rules where, yeah, well, we only pay out once a week, or we only pay out once every couple of weeks, or we only pay out once every month. And it's like, I'm not sure I totally feel comfortable. Now, some of them, to be fair, they have track records. They've done that for a long time. So it's not like they are a scam, but I don't know. In my mind, if I've made money, I should be able to get that money into my account. And that's who I recommend. They allow that. They allow payments. You can take multiple payments every day. And I think that's a big separating factor. So just from that model is why I recommend who I do. And yes, that is an affiliate link. So I'm not like a saint. I am here. This is a for-profit business for me also. I do enjoy teaching. But I'd be a liar if I'm like, the only reason here is because I love teaching. No, that's true. But two things can be true at once. I'm also running a business. I have a family. I need to support my family. I need to monetize my time. Like, I've taken an hour out of my schedule now away from my family, which is fine, but I need to make sure that I'm using that time wisely and monetizing it. So that is an affiliate link. This is a for-profit business. I hope that doesn't offend you, but if it does, I mean, it is what it is. But I do enjoy teaching. I do enjoy this right now, but I would be lying if I said that's the only reason I'm doing this, is because I just love it so much. No. I'm here to make money too. When did you get into futures? Honestly, I just got into futures like a few months ago. My community has been telling me for years, Clay, just get into futures. Clay, get into futures. And I think one of the things that really finally pushed it over was the fact that they're like, so many more people can relate. Like, you trading on YouTube with, you're over $25,000 and not having to deal with a pattern day trading rule. It's like the vast majority of people cannot relate to that. Like, most people don't have $25,000. They have to worry about the pattern day trend rule. So they hit me rather like, just strictly, Clay, from a business standpoint, you would be able to reach out to that many more people, because with futures, as I've been saying, there's no pattern day trader rule. There's so many more things that people can relate to and that would actually help people, which is true. it's genuinely better because I feel as though I can help people better when I can say, hey, use a prop firm and your risk is only $85 compared to doing something stupid in stocks and literally losing $2,000. So, yeah, I'm actually relatively new to futures in the sense of me trading them. But like I said, a chart is a chart. I could have, covered everything up, like I said earlier, and said, we're looking at Forex right now. Nobody would have known. I could have said, we're looking at a stock chart right now. Nobody would have known because a chart is a chart. Candlesticks are candlesticks. Now, what the candlesticks are telling you about, sure, one chart may be telling you about a Forex pairing, another chart may be telling you about a stock, and another chart may be telling you about futures. But a chart is a chart. Man, this thing is just crazy. Where did I buy? Did I do my example right around here? I can't remember where I did that. Glad I got out though. It took me a while to trust Clay as well. Thank you, Duke. I'm glad you trust me. But yes, I'm glad that you had a skeptical eye. That is smart. Live stream. Just search live trading on YouTube. Cool. I said I'd be done at an hour, but like I said, this is fun. This is actually, I like the conversation. Not that I don't mind doing analysis. If you want me to do an analysis of something, let me know. And I can do that. A super chat, make sure that I see it. Usually always bounces off the low of day. Well, the low of day has changed because at one point that was the low of the day, and then that was the low of the day, and then that was the low of the day, and right now it's the low of the day. But that white line moves. So if you were to look back, just a few minutes ago, that white line was all the way up there. So the only reason why it looks like it bounced off the low of the day is because that just happened to be where the low of the day was. But it's not like that line was sitting there. That line moves and tells me where the low of the day is. Hi, Clay, I'm 16, or I got to go. Sorry, Boss Hog, I got to, because that was a super chat. Again, if you're enjoying this, if you're enjoying the conversation, if it seems like you're learning, you're just kind of enjoying the interaction, please hit that like button. That is what communicates all that to me, which is always helpful. Hi, Clay, I'm just 16, just started trading. I want to make a couple bucks. Do you have any buy or sell recommendations on current futures? No, that's not how it works. You got to learn how to think for yourself. You got to learn how to trade for yourself. You got to build a strategy that fits your risk tolerance. If trading were only as easy as signing up for buy and sell recommendations, there'd be a lot of rich people out there. Now, I do have a private community, but I don't offer recommendations. I give alerts. I will alert things, but then it is up to you to think through it and think, okay, do I agree? Does it fit my style? Am I interested? Am I not? How am I going to do it? So you got to learn how to trade. Trading is about risk tolerance and figuring out, where your risk tolerance fits into things. Zechariah, cool. Thank you. Because think about it, risk tolerance. Let's say somebody's like, I define fun as going skydiving. Another person says, I define fun as reading a book on the couch. Is one person right and is one person wrong? I'm going to open that up. What are your thoughts on that? Somebody says, for me, fun is going skydiving. Somebody else says, for me, fun is reading a book. Are one of those people wrong? What say you? Is there any other future indicators you use for futures? No, mainly just moving averages and candlesticks and VWAP for the most part. So no, nobody's right or wrong. Why? What is dictating fun? Well, risk tolerance. Every risk tolerance is going to dictate how people have fun. So that's why there is no holy grail strategy, because your definition of fun, your risk tolerance is different than my risk tolerance. Now, sure, maybe some people's align in certain ways, but at the end of the day, you've got to build something that works for you, and you've got to build it around your personal risk tolerance. Because if I have a system that works, but then you trade in the system, has you sweating beads of sweat, and you're biting your nails off, and all your orifices are puckered up, it's like, okay, that maybe it works for me, but it's clearly not going to work for you. And where is the point of distinction? Well, our risk tolerances are just different. So anybody that says, I have the holy grail, Ron, do my strategy, Ron, the honest answer is, hey, here are the tools. Here's how the tools work. Here's how you should understand the tools. Now you have to build something for yourself. And that's what I teach. And that's why, it's a tough sales pitch because people want to be told, well, no, I just want a system. Just teach me your strategy. It's like, well, no, that's not how it works, because just because my strategy works for me doesn't mean it'll work for you. You've got to build something. I'll help you build it. I'll teach you the tools and all that. But at the end of the day, you have to do the building. You have to figure it out, which does take work. But people are like, oh, I don't want to pay money to have to do work. It's like, I know. And you wonder why most people fail. And you wonder why some people have way better sales than other people when they're just like, hey, buy my strategy. It's like, okay. Is one contract 100 shares in futures? No, I don't know the exact breakdown, but there's a lot of leverage. So that's why you don't need to use a whole lot of contracts. But the gains add up quick. So do the losses. That's why risk management matters. Boss on would you honor the VWAP or the other moving averages? I honor both. I think both work. I like both working in conjunction. I like the 21 EMA. Not perfect, but you can see right here the bounce got rejected right around that area right here. Push up through it, rejected back down. But here you had the. Now, granted, I want to be clear. Like trading in hindsight, describing things in hindsight, which I'm doing right now. It's pretty easy to say, oh, I would have went short right there. It's like, well, of course you would have when you know that it went down. When someone passes that sim phase on the future trading platform, are you fully responsible for the losses? Nope. And do you keep the 100% of the profits made other than the buy? Good question, Panda. That's actually a very good question. So the way it works is this. No, you are not responsible. Where is that? Maybe I went the wrong way. Okay, here we go. You're not the profit split, but you get to keep 80, and then they get to keep 20, which is fair, right? Now, if you go up to their pro account, so pro plus, then at that point you get to keep 90% of the profits, and they keep 10. But no, if you lose, the only thing you lose is what you paid for the account. So they would take the account away. You'd have to start over again. But still, if you have a terrible day and it's like, oh, whoa, how did I just lose $5,000? It's like, no, you only lost the cost of the account. Are you teaching your kids or nephews or nieces or cousins or siblings to trade, or are they all not interested? Well, my oldest kid is 12, and then my other ones are pretty young. Actually, it's funny you say that because I just literally, if you check my social media today, I set up a sim account for my son, just who's 8, to putz around. But yeah, I'm not going to force on it. If they're interested, I am more concerned right now about just general money management. The basics. If you make $100, don't go and spend $101 because that's that $1 is what you call debt, and you don't want to be in debt. Available in the U.S. Yeah, no, this is pretty much available to everybody around the world. In fact, let me see if I can pull that up. Where is that? So right here, if you see your country on this list, sorry for you. They're not available to you. So that's another thing is if you are into, if you want access to the USA markets and you're outside of the markets, then again, this is a great way to go about it because they are open to pretty much people around the world. But yes, there are some countries which they are not open to. So if you see your country on that list, they would not be available to you. Well, are there any other, there are a lot of questions. To build up a small account quickly, do you recommend trading the NQ for bigger wins or the MNQ, which will take? Well, Kevin, based on the premise of your question, to build up a small account quickly, NQ would be the answer. Now, the inverse is also true. So I could structure your sentence like this too. To destroy a small account or to destroy a small account quickly, well, that would be also NQ. So yes, it's a give and take. It's a two-sided coin. If the premise of the question is to build up a small account quickly, NQ. My kid put his first communion money at 11-year-old in Nvidia 4 years ago. He has car money now. That is an awesome story. That is, and I mean like not a fake story, but like that's awesome. Good for him. Very cool. All right, I'll go 6 minutes. We'll just make this an hour and a half stream. I'm 30 minutes over, but I'm genuinely enjoying myself. It sounds like quite a few of you are Actually quite interested in futures, which I'm very excited about because there's literally no doubt in my, I guess I take that back. There's like, I'll give it a 99% chance that if you try futures, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, this is so hassle-free. It's so nice. Especially when you blow up an account, because everybody blows up accounts. That's just part of it. But when you're quote-unquote blowing up an account only costs you $85 as opposed to the 3,000s or whatever you just did, it's like, you know what? Hey, that feels good. That only cost me $85. Again, if you're liking this, if you enjoy the chit chat and component of it, I realize I haven't done an analysis recently, but quite frankly, there haven't been any requests, which is fine. Just a lot of questions, and that is part of the chit chat. So if you're enjoying, hit that like button. If you like the chit chat too. Kind of going back now, seeing if there's. I just started trading stocks with a cash account. We'll have to check out futures. Thank you for the great content. Been watching your videos for a few years. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I get it. You think that and you kind of are working away the pattern day trader rule with the cash account, but you still have to wait for settlement and all that. And that's just a hassle. All right. Well, are there any other questions or any other requests for there we go. MLGO just broke out again. No, we talked about MLGO earlier. And I got to show this again just because, I mean, people aren't going to believe me. And if you do want, oh yeah, it's heading back up. So check this out though. Like I said, showed this earlier. This is from the private community that I offer. And this was up, well, what time? 9:51 a.m. MLGO 322 key breakout point. So members were alerted to this one way back at 322 as a breakout point. So I don't know if any members are here of the community. I don't know if any of you are hanging out in the live stream, but if you took that alert and you're still holding, massive congratulations to you. Are there any other futures you trade? No, nope. NQ and MNQ. That's it. And that's all you need. That's all. Well, I'm saying that like universal. Odds are that's all you're going to need. Maybe you want to try the ES or the YM. So the ES matches the S&P 500. The YM. That is for the Dow. The ES is for S&P 500. And then what I trade is the NQ, which is the NASDAQ. And then the little brothers of all these, you would just throw an M in front of. So these are the ones that are very volatile. I mean, they will grow your account very quickly, or they will destroy your account very quickly if you're not going to manage risk. But if you want to lessen the risk, again, it's two-sided coin, so you're lessening the reward potential also, you would just throw an M in front of each one of these. So the MYM, the MES, the MNQ. So the M stands for micro. But yeah, those are the ones that I would say, I guess I've seen some people trade gold. I don't necessarily know why. Some people like to trade oil. But like I said, if you start with these ones, I'm confident you'll find something that you'll want to stick with. But yeah, MLGO just broke out, just craziness. And if anybody does want to join my community, as I said earlier, it is not free. And it's that way because, it's $99 for 3 months worth of access, but it's amazing what a $99 buffer will do to keep out trolls and drama queens and pump and dump people and just shady characters, which are prevalent in a quote-unquote free room. It's like, yeah, who are you actually dealing with? There's all sorts of games and stuff going on, but here, it's amazing what, like, no, I'm not going to pay. It's like, okay, good. So if you want serious people, if you want people that are trading as it should be, there's a lot of value there. I'll trade futures in the evening, stocks in the day. You got to just abandon stocks, man. You were wasting your time. Futures during the day, that's when like the great moves are. You got to rethink that. Godzilla King, how much capital required to trade MNQ? So here's a nice thing about a prop firm, Godzilla, which I like to. It makes the math very easy. You don't have to do any math. They just tell you. They'll do all the math for you. So if you, which is the link at the top of the screen, that's what I'm saying, for $85, you get $50,000 of buying power. They tell you right here, you are allowed. So remember that so right here, in this situation, you're allowed, you could do 6 NQ, or you could do 60 MNQ, right? We just had that discussion. So if you have been here for the past 2 minutes, this should make sense to you. But they tell you right there, that's what $85 will get you. It'll get you the ability to go up to 6 contracts for NQ, which is crazy. Crazy, like how fast that can add up. Again, it can add up in both directions. And then the MNQ, you could go up to 60. So there's no like you having to pull out a calculator or anything. How many can I actually afford? They just tell you that those are the max. Max is 6 or 60. Does that make sense, Godzilla? Christopher, thanks, Clay. Hey, yeah, you too, Christopher. You were here since the very beginning. I appreciate that. And we are at an hour 30. But again, if you enjoy this, hit that like button. If you're enjoying the conversation. I'm entering MLG short. It has revert. Oh, yeah. I can't do much for you. You're taking on all this unnecessary risk. You're probably paying extra to locate those shares. All it takes is one huge move and it explodes and you've lost your real money. Literally makes no sense. First time joining the live. Amazing. Thank you. Hey, thanks, Panda. Thank you for the request. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for some other really good questions. So I appreciate that. Very nice of you. Again, I'm going to start to wrap things up. So if you are enjoying, if you are finding this helpful, again, hit that like button. That's a super easy way to communicate that. And that's the free way. Another way is I'm not going to turn down a super chat, but of course that wouldn't be free. But if you're just looking to say, hey, Clay, thanks. I enjoyed. Appreciate you doing this. Hit the like button. But like I said, super chats are nice also. But can I still use my Thinkorswim platform chart with trading futures on take profit, or is it not? Oh, you can, but you would still need to enter in your order. So if you want to make all your decisions on your Thinkorswim charts, you could, but you would eventually just have to come over here to buy and sell. But no, so I don't know. Does that make sense? How long does it take to learn trading futures? Well, do you know how to trade? Do you know how to trade with charts? Like when I say, do you know how to trade with technical charts? Tom, that would be my first question. But yeah, and you cannot use Thinkorswim to enter your orders and stuff like that because they're not the broker. But you could use them to still analyze. So a lot of people they'll use TradingView is pretty popular. They'll use TradingView charts to do their analysis, but then when it comes time to buy, they would use your platform. A little. Okay, well then it doesn't really matter. The question you should be asking, Tom, is how long will it take me to learn how to use charts? Because once you learn how to use charts, then you can trade stocks, you could trade options, you could trade futures. Because like I've said, and I don't know if you're around, but I could have tricked people. I could have been like, I could have tried to hit everything. Like, okay, we're looking at a stock chart, and nobody would know. I could have said, hey, we're looking at a crypto right now. Nobody would know because the chart, candlesticks are the same, patterns are the same. They're just, some are for stocks, some are for options, some are for futures. So it's really a question of you've got to learn how to use charts. And then at that point, you're like 95% of the way there for futures. Because there's the 5% of, okay, actually what is your future? Which are futures are kind of good to trade. But like those are that's like the remaining 5%. Whoa, blew out my short. Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine if that was real money? I don't know. You can only lead a horse to water. Are you placing orders on Schwab? No, this is, I am trading futures with the prop firm. The prop firm is right here, is Take Profit Trader. That's who I'm linking up above. So I've signed up. I have an account that gives me purchasing power. So for example, for $85, you could get $50,000. And then after that, they go and create a Tradovate account for you. And this is Tradovate. This is the platform that I'm using. So this is not Schwab. This is Tradovate, who I have through the prop firm. Hey, thanks, Kevin. I'm glad you found me. You seem like a good, rational human being, not a troll, which is always appreciated. So I appreciate it, and I appreciate your skepticism. That's fair game. So yeah, thanks for swinging by. Hopefully I'll see you around. Asking for advice. I wasn't going to. I'm bleeding out on QSI. I'm already past the point of no return, but you think it's going to dump. Well, I mean, on QSI, what's your stop loss at? Let's take a look. What is your stop loss at, minor auto body? Oh, no, I'm not. You're not an idiot. You just, I can only do so much for you, you know? I've laid out my case. If you don't buy the premises of the case, that's fine. But literally, you're taking on unnecessary risk, trading or going short stocks like MLGO that can just go bonkers, and then you take some huge loss, and it's literally your money that you're losing. Whereas futures, yes, they could go bonkers. You could take a massive loss from the short side, but because it's a prop firm, it's not like you realizing the entire loss. It would just be the cost of the account. What platform do I... this is Webull. So if you want to use Webull, use this link, Panda. That'll ensure that you get the promotions, because they're always like giving away stock or giving away money or whatever to sign up. So if you want to use them, you can use that link right there. I just got murdered yesterday trying to catch the morning falling knife. Yeah, that was nasty. I don't think Autobody. Have you given me your stop loss? That's what I'm waiting for. What is your stop loss? 125 now. All right, well, at this point, that's what it is. That's your line in the sand, $1.25. Where is it, $1.25? $1.25 is right there, basically. So that's what it is. You are, I don't know. That's what you got to do. What you're comfortable with. That seems to be below the lows right there. That might be a little bit more of a. But I mean, to be fair, maybe this wiggle room, maybe it comes down and rejects back up. But yeah, if 125 is your stop loss, and that's been based on your personal risk tolerance, and that's what you feel comfortable with, then yeah, you should be in, unless it hits $1.25. And if it hits $1.25 at that point, you should be out. What kind of catalyst sets off futures trading? News events. So you'll want to watch an economic calendar. But then, I mean, they really respect technicals quite a bit too. Because a lot of people are watching futures, and when a lot of people are watching things, self-fulfilling prophecies tend to happen. So yeah, they're very technical. So if you like to use charts like that, what a coincidence. Look right where the price is all of a sudden just kind of putzing around. Right at that moving average, which happened to be right where it was there. And once again, it's putzing around right at that level. Now, that doesn't mean that it's for sure guaranteed to get rejected. But, I mean, it's not a shock that the price is all of a sudden, after going straight up, all of a sudden, look at that, right off that green line. What a coincidence. Again, now if it breaks out, you're going to have long saying, all right, I want to get long on a breakout right there. You're going to have other people saying, I want to get short at that level because it's been rejected a couple times before. Somebody will be right, somebody will be wrong. That's why stop losses matter. So we don't have to have capital tied up on the platform to trade. All we need to do is purchase the bind without putting money into the account. No, exactly, Ant. That's exactly it. You literally, good question, good point of clarification. You go, again, you make sure you use the link, claytrader.com/take profit so that you can get the 50% off. But yeah, you would literally buy 85. It would cost you $85, and then there you go. There's nothing else you need to do. It's that straightforward. So that's also what I mean by, like, there's like, sometimes you have to sign up for brokers and you got to transfer money in and it's none of that. It's so hassle free, which again is why I keep saying, and I've repeated myself, but I'll say it again. I have never met somebody that's gone from stocks into futures, and especially futures with a prop firm, and then gone back to stocks because it's just so much more streamlined and straightforward. Thoughts? Do you think it will recover to at least $2.50? Oh, I have no idea. I don't know. Charts are not a crystal ball. I would say that if it can pull this off, if the price can get up through that trend line right there, which puts the price right around 207, then what did you ask? 250? Then yeah, I could see 250, a high volume break of that trend line. Then again, you're gonna have to worry about that 50-day moving average. But yeah, a high volume break of this resistance trend line right there makes it a reasonable conversation right now. It doesn't look very reasonable at all, just because the price is continuing to drift down. But a break above that line right there, high volume break, begins to change the conversation. But right now, there is no need to change the conversation because it's literally just continuing to drift downwards. All right, everybody. Well, again, I am going to officially wrap things up. So if you enjoyed, it'd be great if we could get this up to at least 50 likes while we're still here. So if you have not hit the like button, we're at 40 right now. Is it possible we could get this up to 50 likes? Please hit that like button if you're liking what you see. And it'd be awesome if we could drive this up to 50 likes real quick. And any sort of super chats. If I get a super chat, maybe I can, I can get Chinese for my kids tonight. I got 6 kids. Right now on the menu is rice and beans because I only got $8.98 in super chats. I don't even know if that can afford enough rice and beans. But if we can't get any super chats, can we at least get up to 50 likes? We're at 41. Maybe most people here have already hit the like button. Hey, there we go. 44. 44. Kids still eating beans and rice, but that's okay. That's okay. But in all actuality, I'd rather have you use that money to go sign up for that account because, like I said, that supports the channel too because I will get something when you use that link. Great having you here on the show. Quickly, how many screens do you use? I have 3 monitors, but I basically use 2 for trading. The third is more so for the business aspect of things. I'm thinking of getting 6 to 8 screens. In my opinion, that is way overkill. Don't get me wrong. It makes an awesome Instagram picture. Like Instagram, that'd be awesome. But practicality, I think that's very unnecessary. And the amount of screens does not dictate how much profit you make. The thing between your ears and risk management dictates how well you do as a trader, not the amount of monitors. Although, like I said, a lot of monitors, that does make for a cool Instagram picture. Hey, Tom, you're the man. That's not the first super chat you've given me, so thank you. Yeah, 6 kids, yep. Youngest being about 14 months, oldest being about almost going to be 13. Chinese, please. There we go, yes. Thank you. When the kids are eating Chinese tonight, I'd be like, we have Tom to thank for this Chinese. All right. And we're at 50 likes. Mission accomplished. This, we didn't have as many viewers as normal. The super chats were quite a bit lower than normal. But I really enjoyed this. Good conversation, good questions. People seemingly to have an interest in futures, which is great. Gets me excited. And I mean, I know, well, here comes a sales pitch. I guess in a case it is sales pitch, but genuinely, none of you are trolls. I would love if some of you decided to join the private community. I think you would fit in very well. This has been a very fun group, a group that I've enjoyed. So yeah, by all means, please consider joining. It's $99, gives you 3 months worth of access. It'd be fun to get to know you more in the room. So 37 screens, you might as well make it 40. Can you support your family just day trading? No. Oh, that's a good question. No, Tom, why do you got to do that? This is a very good question here. Can you support your family day trading? I don't know. Maybe you can, but I argue for multiple streams of income. Every wealthy person I've ever studied, there's one common denominator. They all have multiple streams of income. And to me, the thought of just financial terror, financial stress would be one stream of income. So, and that means anything. Just one stream of income, that makes me nervous. That stresses me out. But you put on top of that, the only stream of income being day trading, I would argue impossible. I don't think it's actually possible. I am not a full-time day trader. I have many streams of income. I have my real estate investing. I have the teaching business. I guess I have YouTube. I had some super chats. I have a dividend portfolio of stocks where I have many streams of income. So I would highly recommend to do what wealthy people do. And what wealthy people do is have many streams of income. But the thought of somebody quitting their job to become a full-time day trader and that's their only form of income, terrible idea. Terrible idea. So in my personal opinion, there's no such thing as a full-time day trader because I think most people that say they're full-time, they have other streams of income. So it's not like that's their only stream of income. So I would say that never try to do day trading as a sole form of trading. I call it a side hustle. I'm a big believer in multiple side hustles. I call my real estate investing side hustle. I mean, I live in Iowa and I have farmland here, which pays very nice. And we're going to build a house on it. But that's how much I believe in diversification, even within real estate. I own some, rental properties. I own some back in Michigan where we were from. I own farmland here in Iowa. So I am all for diversification, many streams of income. But not profitable. I have 30 screens on. Here you go. There's some beans. I really have to move on with my day. You guys keep asking really good questions. I want to keep engaging, but I got to get moving. So, yeah. Appreciate you, Clay. Been learning so much. How much was your contract? I don't know what that's in reference to. I'll just have to take sabbatical from my work. Use them. Okay, I can't. I'm going to get tempted. You're going to sucker me back in because you guys all keep asking questions. See, now you're talking about Iwan. No, right now, I got to stop. The farmland, it's about 135 acres of tillable, 80 acres of something called CRP, Conservation Resource Program. So the government pays me to like save butterflies and stuff. And then about 130 acres of woods. It's a little over 400 acres, but we're going to be building a house there hopefully soon. Because my dream has always been, like, you never own a house if you think about it, because there's this thing called property taxes. And if you don't pay your property taxes, then you no longer own the house. But I was like, wouldn't it be so nice someday to have something where your house is actually literally paid for? So the farm has allowed me to accomplish that goal because the farming tenant, corn, soybeans, pays off not only my property taxes, not only my insurance, but leaves quite a bit left over for profit too. So, yeah, so that's kind of the Iowa farmland. But anyways, I got to stop reading the chat box because you guys keep suckering me in with questions. And this one it's going to be an hour. Okay, fine, I'll do an hour and a half. And now it's at an hour and 45 minutes. So I am done. I appreciate it. Again, if you enjoyed, please hit that like button. Thank you for the good discussions. And I guess it's Friday, so everybody have a great weekend. And here's a hint. If you trade futures, they actually open back up. So they'll close this evening at 6 p.m. Eastern, but then they open up on Sunday at 6 p.m. So there you go. I mean, then that's kind of my final little thing. But if you are interested in futures, make sure you use that link up above. It'll give you 50% off. And there's still 50 people here, and so I'll do this real quick. So my site, if you want to learn more about futures just in general, I do offer a totally free resource for that. So I'll put this link in the chat room. And then just make sure you go down to the bottom, because right there, that is where class number 1 is. But that is all I have. I promise I am done. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I'm not looking at the chat box because I know somebody's going to sucker me in with another